Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here today looking at Dream Home by Clemens Kalitsky, published by Rebel.pl. This is a game in which you build a house in about 30 minutes. The game is for 2 to 4 players, ages 7 and up, including people like this. Who is 7? Almost up. Yes, Trevor and I are here to let you know how this works. Here are the components for Dream Home, set up for a 2-player game, with each player having their individual player board, their shell of a house that they will want to fill with rooms over the course of the game. You have a shared player board, which has a deck of 60 room cards and 48 resource cards. You have some decor items in the middle worth 1 to 3 points that perhaps you will decorate your home with. You have some reminder aids for scoring at the end of the game. You have a deck of score sheets on which to write, and a first player marker that goes to the youngest player. At the start of each of the 12 rounds, you will lay out 4 resource cards and 5 room cards, and the deck has exactly the number of cards you need for the entire game. Each player is going to choose, in turn order, going clockwise, 1 column, and they will take the cards in that column, or in this case, the card and the first player marker to be first player in the next round. And when you get them, you will add the room to your house, and the other card on the top, well, depends on what you're getting. So, youngest player, what would you like to take?
I would like to take the playroom and the purple roof.
Playroom and the purple roof. The cards, or the room cards, in Dream Home mostly score based on set collection. So if you have a single playroom on its own, it's very tiny, and your children will not be able to invite anyone over. They'll be relatively sad. But, you know, you'll get 2 points out of it. If, however, you manage to put 2 playrooms together, then you will score a lot more points, and your children will be much happier. Where will you put this playroom? The normal rooms, the rooms without the dark green border, must be placed on the top 2 floors, while these dark green ones are basement rooms, and they can only be placed in the bottom 2 areas of the house. And when you place, you cannot initially place the playroom on the 2nd floor, because the 1st floor does not exist, and this will go crashing down, and you will soon be getting a call from the police. Possibly an ambulance visiting your home. So you must build initially on the 1st floor and then build on top of that as you go along. Or, if you are going to do what I do, you are going to take this column with the basement and put that in first, so now I have more places on which to build initially and can work my way upward. When Trevor here took the playroom, he also got a purple roof. Roofs come in 4 colors, sometimes with a window, which provides extra points. And you take that and you put it face down, and you must remember your roof color. You want to have, ideally, a roof of a single color across the top, so that HOA does not throw you out and fine you. But sometimes you just make do with what you can get. When I took the storage room, I also got this tool, a jackhammer, that I put aside for use later in the game. With the jackhammer, I can choose a room before anyone else takes a turn, but I do not get the item on top. Right? I jump in for advantage there, but I lose out on something else. 2nd round, flip over 4 more cards, and 5 room, and we choose again. So, first player remains with this guy since no one chose the left column. And what would you like now, sir?
The playroom.
The playroom again. If you take the playroom, you also have a hot tub. This is a bit of decor, which is worth 2 points. However, the hot tub does not go in the playroom. You see by the color coding here with blue, the playroom, or the hot tub, only goes in the bathroom. This young man has no bathrooms in his house yet. Perhaps someday. You don't care about the bathrooms.
No, I want a bathroom. I don't care about the hot tub.
Ah, he has no place to put the hot tub, so this card just gets thrown away. Useless. And the playroom goes over here. Okay. Maybe I'll take a kitchen and a red roof and throw that away. Okay. And you continue taking turns until the game ends. What do we have this time? A garage, you can expand that. A bunch of living rooms, a bedroom. You have another tool, a concrete mixer here, and a helper. The helper will provide extra points at the end of the game. This guy, for example, lets you go through the discard pile and swap 1 room in your house with 1 room that was thrown away. Okay, canopy bed, which goes in the bedroom, which right now no one has a bedroom. So, canopy bed, useless. It all depends on the choices you make and the random order that the cards come out. You can expect this, think of this as more like a Home Depot where things just keep showing up at your door. And maybe you're ready for them and maybe you're not.
I would like the living room.
Which one? And where is your living room going to go? You do not have to build adjacent. I can build a bedroom over here, leaving some space next to something else. And this brings up one other element of cards. There are some cards that are worth a certain number of points, but worth more points if you place them next to the proper building. If I'm going to have a dressing room, ideally it's going to be next to a bedroom, so it'd be worth lots of points. I do not want the dressing room next to my kitchen because I tend to scare the guest when I come out of it. Throw all these away and turn up new cards. Continue until you have finished 12 rounds and then score for points. Here's how your game board might look at the end of the game after collecting 12 room cards over the 12 rounds of the game. You might notice this face down card here. If you pick up a card during a round and cannot legally place it on the board, you must place it face down as an empty room that will score no points. So I did not complete my garage. I do not get my set for scoring that. How might that have happened? Perhaps I had collected this so far, I had to choose something for the round and there were no basement rooms available, so I had to take something and flip it face down. Ideally taking something that someone else needed, but that's small compensation for not scoring anything myself. You also cannot legally place something that would make a room bigger than the scoring allows it to be. A playroom is complete at 2 cards, so if I put a third card here, that's illegal. No one wants this giant playroom except for all the kids in your house. If you put a piece of decor into a room, that room is considered finished and you cannot add to it again, except if you have the interior designer, which gives you extra points for decor and lets you rearrange things. Apparently, the ice cream maker is very sensitive and you cannot do anything else around it. However, there are a number of helper cards that let you do things at the end of the game. This supplier lets me replace an existing room in my house with a room from the discard pile, so I can complete my kitchen after all, after the fact. There's a roofer that lets you get a roof card of your choice. There's someone that lets you swap 2 rooms. There's a few other different things that let you try to maximize your end-game scoring. And once you're finished, you now add up for your rooms. So 0 plus 9 plus 6 plus 1 plus 6 plus 4, 26. You add up for decor, 1, 1, 2, that's 4 points for decor. You also look at the functionality of your house. How well does it actually work? As long as you have a bathroom, a kitchen, and a bedroom somewhere in some size in your house, you score 3 points. Those are the essentials that you must have. If you have a bathroom on each floor, that's also 3 points. And you can score 1 or both or none of these bonuses while you're constructing your house. Finally, you are going to score for the roof cards. You flip over your cards. If you got a roofer, you first find a roof card that you hope you need. And if you have 4 cards of the same color, then you will score 8 points. If you have a window, that's an additional point. I do not, so I can have a wildly prismatic roof, scoring 3 points for the roof itself, 1 for the window. Each window you have scores if you have that, but ideally you go for the full monochromatic experience. Add up your scores, and the player with the most points wins. And there's an overview of Dream Home, which I played 9 times now on a press copy from Asmodee North America, which is distributing the title in the United States and elsewhere. And I played with 2, 3, and 4 players, including this guy a number of times. And I was wondering if you could tell us what you think of the game.
I really like it because y'all are kind of building a house.
Okay. Do you like building houses?
Yeah.
I mean, fake houses.
Yeah.
Like what?
I build plenty of Lego houses, wooden houses.
And that's it. Paper houses? You've done that as well? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's exciting about building a house? What do you like? What don't you like about the game? Let's get that.
That I never win.
Okay, well, yeah, you never win. There's times you come close. There are incremental scoring throughout the game, as you see from the rooms. Sometimes you score 1, and then you pair it up, you score 4 or 6. So you can pair that up and you get big numbers. You had one game where you had 3 purple roofs with a window, and you didn't have another card. And if you had another purple card, you would have got 9 points and tied for first.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's sort of the swing at the end there. There's some tiny scoring with the functionality and getting some decor and a few little items here and there. The roof is kind of a big swing at the end, so you got to make sure to work with that. We had our first 4-player game recently where I did not complete my roof, and only one person had the actual full color roof out of all that. It is much tougher with 4 people. There's a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
For things. There's many fewer things left on the board. Now, there is a variant that you can use for 2 to 3 players. They suggest maybe not using it with younger players, but so we haven't been using it with you. But with 2 and 3 players, you can play where the first player removes 1 column of cards from play, not the one with the first player marker, because then no one would ever change, but removes 1 of the columns of cards from play. And then everyone chooses cards. So that makes the competition a little tighter because, of course, there are now fewer cards available for people to choose from. But we didn't need that with 4 players.
I recommend that if you look really closely at those cards, there should be tiny kids in there. So if there's a tiebreaker, and if you have enough kids, you win!
Yes. The number of kids on your cards breaks ties.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, when you were picking house, the first couple times we played, you were choosing things just on what you wanted in your house.
Yeah.
You weren't going for points.
No.
No, you were just trying for I think this looks nice. I want a cat house. I'm going to choose all these things that sort of go in the house. So are you still playing that way? Trying to make the prettiest house? Or are you trying it for points?
Both.
Both. Okay, so you can pair that up. Now, of course, that's kind of the marketing of the game. This is for players ages 7 and up. The back of the box features the familiar 1, 2, 3 explanation that many companies are adopting. Right? This is how you're going to learn the game. Hey, you're just going to choose stuff, and then you put it in your house. And then there's some scoring stuff, and we won't worry about that. All right? It's fairly straightforward. I've played with adult players, non-children.
You have?
Yes, non-teens. And they were like, I don't know, I could see playing this 4 or 5 times, and that's about it. But we played a lot more. And you want to play more? Okay, well, there you go. It does have a limited range of variability. So if you compare it to a game that I have done a video for recently, at the time of this recording, that was Costa Rica. And that is a lot more variability based on the personality of the players. How much you're willing to push your luck and gamble and cut people off and be a jerk. Right? There's a lot of that in Costa Rica. But here, there's not so much because every round, you're going to take a column of cards or a card in the first player marker. And that's it. You're getting 12 cards on the bottom in the rooms, and of course you may get cut off. There's a little press your luck there on maybe you don't get the basement floors you need, and then you got to put in chunky rooms that don't score anything. Maybe you don't complete that set that you're trying to because you got to fill things from the bottom up. That's just how gravity works. So there's a little bit of that, but there's not as much variability from game to game as you're playing. So when you do well, scores are going to be, in the low 40s. That's pretty much it. There is a maximum to what you can do based on what you can pair together, what decor you can get, what functionality bonuses in the roof. There's a maximum. There's a ceiling on the Dream Home game, which kind of makes sense. You did not get my joke.
What joke? I didn't hear anything. Sorry.
That's the end. And that's it for Dream Home, which I played 9 times now on a press copy from Asmodee North America, which is distributed. Hi, whoops, not hi. And that's an overview of Dream Home, which I played 9 times now on a press copy from Asmodee North America, which is distributing the title here for Rebel. All right.
I put a bathroom next to a living room and a kitchen next to a bathroom to get the smell of the poop.
We do not need that in there. I'm going to cut that out.
Okay.